What's happening, y'all? It's me coming back at you again with another vid. First things first, Luis Ortiz managers came out and he has some choice of words for Anthony Joshua and his thoughts on the Deontay Wilder as well. Now, he has confirmed, this is an article on Boxing Scene, that there are ongoing negotiations between his client Luis Ortiz and Deontay Wilder. Okay, so the talks between for that fight to happen on November 4th is still ongoing. However, there are several hurdles that have to be overcome for that to become a reality, which he's pertaining to the Bermane-Stiverne situation, which I will get to later on because I forgot to mention in one of my last videos about Bermane-Stiverne, but I'll get to that later. Which I didn't see no one report on, but yeah, I mean, I may have missed it. My apologies, but it is what it is. So anyhow, this is what Jimenez had to say about the possibility of facing Wilder. He said, look, Ortiz knows about it and he's very excited. You know, he really wants that fight with Wilder, and he knows it's a dangerous fight because of Wilder's style, and he's very awkward. But he knows what he's up against. Look, he really believes that Joshua is the easier fight. He's easier to box, while Wilder is a little unpredictable and is wild with his punches, which is true. Deontay is very wild with his hooks. Now, we believe that Wilder wants to fight. He's not afraid. He's not like Joshua, who never mentions Ortiz's name. Ortiz's name was never mentioned once out of Joshua's mouth, and the guy's a pussy. Now, we don't think Joshua really wants anything to do with King Kong. All right? Now, our promoter, Dave Promotions, and the lawyers are handling the issue with the mandatory defense because Joshua is supposed to be facing Ortiz next, not Klitschko or anyone else. The WBA's mandatory comes before the IBF is due. Now, there has never been a special permission given to Joshua by the WBA for the rematch for Klitschko. If they skip over Ortiz, then we'll pursue legal action as a violation of the Muhammad Ali Act. We're also going to see what happens, but we're going to see what happens from there. But Ortiz absolutely would like to get in the ring with Wilder. Now, Wilder thinks he can beat King Kong, which is cool, and now it's time to put his money where his mouth is. So, now he also mentioned something about the Bermane-Stiverne situation. Actually, no, he didn't mention about that. The article also goes into the fact that the Bermane-Stiverne situation is still one of those biggest hurdles that they need to overcome to make this fight a reality. But nonetheless, well, actually, you know what? Jimenez did comment on the Stiverne situation. He said, look, I had no idea how Stiverne became Wilder's mandatory. I mean, the guy hasn't even fought for almost 2 years. He even missed a drug test with the WBC this year. So I don't understand what's going on over there with that. I don't understand what's going on over there. But Ortiz has a problem has no problem becoming champion and then faces Stiverne. Hey, my sentiments exactly. Why don't Stiverne just step aside and wait for the winner between Ortiz and Wilder? Then he'll fight the winner of that fight. You know, so yeah. And I forgot to mention too that Stiverne actually missed a drug test this year. So it kind of looks bad if you think about it on Bermane-Stiverne. You know, you failed a drug test last year, even though the drug that you failed, that you consumed in your body was not considered a PED, but harmful to the heart, but yet it was still banned. Regardless, you shouldn't have been taking it. You got a slap on the wrist. You got a $75,000 fine. Then you had to do some, a certain amount of hours of community service. Is great, but then you missed a drug test this year, but the WBC Clean Posking program, and now you're gonna come out and do this shit with, pull this bullshit by trying to stop the Ortiz and Wilder fight. So it gets a little bit worse for Bermane-Stiverne. I forgot to mention that in one of my videos. And yeah, by the way, one of my commenters brought that up. Shout out to that commenter. I forgot your name, man. My apologies there. But anyhow, this is not about Bermane-Stiverne. It's about the fact that Jimenez really likes the idea of the Wilder fight. He's confirming the fact that that there are ongoing talks to get this fight done. November 4th is the plausible date to get it made. Of course, there are hurdles they need to overcome to make it a reality. But nonetheless, he's very disappointed in Anthony Joshua for allegedly trying to avoid Luis Ortiz. Now, I'm not saying that Anthony Joshua is avoiding him. This is what Jimenez is believing. And he does bring up a point that, well, if you're going to mention other fighters that you would like to fight, then why don't you mention my client Luis Ortiz? Okay, why are you lately, trying to trying to be evasive about that situation? Well, I can understand where your menace is coming from to some degree, But nonetheless, this whole WBA, the IBF, and the Klitschko situation is very, very complex, and it's very sketchy for Anthony Joshua. So, and the thing about Vladimir Klitschko too, man, he's taken such a long time to figure out what he wants to do. As one of the uploaders, I forgot who it was who mentioned this. I think it was Hatman. He mentioned this too because, when Klitschko had a rematch clause against Tyson Fury, he immediately invoked it, just like that. And I can see why he did it, because he really did get damaged in that fight. Now, opposed to Anthony Joshua, he really got hurt badly in this fight. He took more hits in the Joshua fight than he did against Tyson Fury. So, the fact is he got knocked out, and very rarely got knocked out very badly. He's very undecided what he wants to do. I think more likely he's going to head to retirement. I think that'd be the best thing for him. He has nothing left to prove. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts about Ortiz manager comments about Joshua. I'm out.